Hi, I'm Dan Strange. I'm the director of Crosslands Forum, a centre for cultural engagement and missional innovation. And we're doing this piece because I would love to encourage you, in fact, exhort you to join a reading group that we're doing next year. 6 sessions over 6 months, reading a really important new book that's come out called Biblical Critical Theory. And I have its author here, Chris Watkin, who's joining me. I'm just going to ask Chris 3 questions, and I hope that will persuade you to sign up for this reading group. So, Chris, thanks for being with us this morning. The first question, I suppose, is what is biblical critical theory?
Thanks, Dan. Well, the book is an attempt to use a Bible overview framework, goes from Genesis to Revelation through 28 chapters, and uses that framework as a way to engage with all different aspects of modern culture. The idea of a biblical critical theory is really that the Bible does what all different critical theories do. Like the Bible does more than this, but it also does this, which is that it makes certain things in the world visible to us, like, for example, the glory of God in creation or the widows and orphans in society. It draws our attention to certain things. And it also makes certain things in the world valuable to us, like, for example, God's name, his reputation, or the value of serving others that we wouldn't have necessarily thought of if we hadn't read the Bible. And that's the sense in which I'm saying the Bible is itself offering us a critical theory.
Great. Thanks, Chris. Second question. And why should Christians read this book? And by that, I mean, I would love not just academics, not even just church leaders, but Christians who are engaged, want to be engaged in culture, to think Christianly about their culture, to apply the Lordship of Jesus to all of their life. Why should they read this 688-page book?
like the little bit you slipped in just at the end there. Look, I think there are probably 3 reasons that it'd be helpful to bear in mind. The first is that the question of how Christians relate to society and to politics is a really big one today. It's probably one of the biggest questions that divides Christians. And I'd love the book to help people to find a rich, biblically based way of living in late modern society that helps us to relate to politics and to culture in really healthy and biblical ways, and therefore to reject some of the really strange ideas about how Christianity relates to culture that are flying around in the Christian world at the moment. I'm really hoping that the book would also help people to be on the front foot when it comes to Christianity and culture. You know, it can feel a bit like Christianity is under siege in society at the moment, and the only time Christians ever pop up in the news is when they're being beaten with a stick about something or other that they believe, or something that they've done that people don't like. But I think that's a real shame, because, you know, the Bible has a really critical and positive, beguiling and fresh vision for society and the world. And I think, you know, I'd love the book to help Christians to be able to articulate that vision. And I think it's also, it's certainly one of my hopes and prayers for the book, that it would help people to deepen their appreciation of the richness and the depth and the complexity of God's word. Like, there's so much riches in the Bible to bring to bear on contemporary culture. And I hope that the book might help some people to see that.
That's fantastic, Chris. And final question, why would it be a good thing for us to be reading biblical critical theory together in a reading group?
Well, as you said yourself a moment ago, it's a big chunky book. You know, it's not, you can't read through it in an hour. And so being part of a group will probably be a good way to help you get through to the end. I also think that, look, God made us for relationships, didn't he? And you get more out of things when you discuss them with other people. And so I think being in a group is necessarily going to throw up perspectives and insights that you hadn't thought of personally. And everyone's going to get more out of it through reading it in a group. And I've heard that there's this bloke called Dan Strange who's supposed to be really good as well, and I think he's leading it. So that's probably another good reason.
Thanks, Chris. So look, I'd really encourage you, if you're interested in the book, to go to the Crosslands Forum website, sign up, 6 sessions, 1 a month, and we're going to get through this book together. I really do think it is an important book for us as we think about not just cultural critique, but cultural construction, really important for us at the moment. Chris, thanks for joining us. And I hope you guys are going to sign up.
Thank you, Dan.